Hello and welcome to Champ Series Season 2, Champ Coastal, the reunion. And we are recapping everything from episode 1 all the way to the champion finale. And we're here with all of our cast members from Season 2. We have Roger, representing St. Louis. Angel, representing Los Angeles. Anthony, representing Kansas City, Kansas. Darius, representing St. Louis. Anne Marie, representing Orlando, Florida.
Hey.
Stand up. We have Danny, representing Dallas, Texas. We have Mason, representing Cincinnati, Ohio. And finally, we have Michael, representing Durant, Oklahoma. So, with this season, we had all new twists and turns. We have one returner returning from season 1, Anthony.
Didn't think I'd be back this season, did you? I'm back.
And so, Anthony, I want to ask you, why did you decide to come back, and tell me your thought process before even entering the house?
Originally, I wasn't going to do it. 6 days before the show started, I got the COVID shot, and I had almost not came before. The reason why I had not wanted to do it at first was I had fought like a week and a half before, and I got second place in a 6-man heavyweight kickboxing tournament. So I was a little concussed, a little hurt, hadn't been working out, hadn't been doing anything, kind of depressed from the loss, laying low. You knew I broke my thumb. You guys knew I had broken my hand and thumb, and just wanted to be a part of it though either way, and give it another chance to be on Champ's show and try to get a W, get a win. But we all know that turned out. It's okay, not worried about it. I was just glad to be a part of it, and it was very cool of you to invite me back. I really appreciated it, and it was an awesome experience.
Let's talk about the legacy advantage.
Yeah.
Well, I have something for you, and I would like you to read it. And then let me know your thoughts.
Oh wow, legacy advantage. It says, Anthony, welcome back for season 2. As a return to this competition, you know how the game works. Here's a welcome back gift from one champ to another. This legacy adventure provides you with immunity for a knockout vote in this competition. Use this wisely because you can only use this once on yourself before the 4th knockout vote. Best of luck this season. That's pretty cool. So, I want to just get rid of it, if that's cool. Can I do that?
Okay, I'm floored. Okay, that's good. Okay, so Anthony's decided to withdraw his legacy advantage.
Yeah, there you go. Sweet, thanks, man.
No problem.
That's nice. That's nice of you.
Do you regret that decision?
No, I don't regret it at all. These guys and gals were so awesome. It was a different chemistry, different vibe going on the whole time, like I had said on camera, and I just wanted everything to be fair. I didn't want any kind of head up, like, you earned yours, like everyone earned their thing. I just walked into the house and was given one. Like it just didn't seem fair. Even though I was coming back, it didn't matter to me. I wanted it to be fair and equal on all fronts from the absolute start. Like if I would have gotten it from a challenge, cool. And I did win the cup palm against you two. I earned that one, so I took that one. Yeah. Yes. Kobe.
Whatever.
Angel, when you walked in and the first person you see is Anthony,
Yes.
Tell me we saw the reaction, but what was that immediate thought process?
I was kind of like surprised, but not surprised. I kind of expected at least 1 or 2 people from season 1 to be there. So walking in and seeing you, and you were in the finals for this first season, so it was kind of like, okay, this makes sense. Yeah.
I remember that when I came in, I just pretended like I didn't know who you were.
Right.
Cheesy smile, really, but they're the same smile right now.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I don't know who you are, but I know who he was. I just wanted to see like how he would have reacted, kind of. And he literally said, "I know you know me," and I was like, "Yeah, I do," but yeah, I just pretended like I didn't know who he was at first.
Watching back, Anthony, and seeing the question asked, who was your favorite cast member from season 1 and least favorite from season
Didn't bother me
1?
at all. Didn't bother me at all.
Raise your hand if you said your least favorite cast member was Anthony.
I said nobody, so I don't know. I said nobody, so I'm not in
I
that.
actually did get that question. I was very glad.
Yeah.
I did.
I either said nobody or you. Sorry.
The first season, he came off as very cocky and very like overconfident, and I felt that he was like full of himself, and that may be the editing or maybe, but also like he was talking about how he lost so much weight, and like when somebody is in their comfort zone and they feel like, oh, like I feel comfortable in my body, obviously they're gonna like say that they feel good about themselves and things like that. And so I understood that, but throughout the show, like he was just talking and cocky and cocky. and then at the end of the show, and I said this in the season, like at the end of the show, whenever he finally showed his vulnerable side and said like, I don't feel confident, I don't feel like I deserve this or whatever he said, like that's whenever I resonated with him, and that's whenever I saw you for you, and that's whenever I was like, okay, Anthony is a genuine person. He's compensating for that because of what he's been through and everything like that, and I appreciate, and that was my favorite moment of season 1, was Anthony being vulnerable and saying that he didn't feel like he had anxiety, and like he didn't feel like he deserved it, and he was so nervous and all this stuff. And then that's whenever I saw him for him, and that's whenever I appreciated him for as a person.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Mason, talk about being the last one to enter the house, and the first thing you walk into is a screaming.
Okay, they're coming.
They're here, they're
Oh my
here.
God, no fucking way! There's no way! No way! No fucking way!
Uh,
Screaming.
Welcome to Memory.
Yes.
well, when I got there, it was like midnight, so it was already super late. And then we get to the house, and then it's like another 25 minutes of sitting in the minivan with Chris and Christy, the 2 guys I just met, and they're like waiting to go inside the house. I'm like, what are we waiting for? Like, I don't understand. And then I walk in, and everyone's like already together, and I figured they'd all been together all day. I'm like, great. I'm the last kid get kicked at kickball because everyone's had time to like form bonds, and then here comes my little ass that walks in, and that was truly, honestly, the last, quite literally the last thing I would have ever expected to walk into the house to. But it was something I'll never forget. I mean, it's definitely made a moment of this whole process that, I think it's important for everyone else to see too, especially now that these guys actually know me. Her only knowing me on social media, I'm sure seems one way, and then you meet me in person, and it's like,
You're a lot more boring in person.
That's not me at all. Never that. That's never even crossed my mind.
No, it's just it's the best part of what stuff like this does for people and bringing people together and so yeah, it's a moment I'll never forget for sure.
Question. Why the hell did I have to go first?
I'm good.
Not Jay, you like us boy.
First off,
They had an
I
alliance.
know why.
They had an alliance, and then they knew that you two knew each other. So obviously they had to pick between you or Roger, and they chose you.
Shaking
And
my
so
hands.
that's how that went down. That's how I saw it.
There was one part where I feel like you didn't deserve to go. But
Yeah.
You already know that part of.
But you still voted for him, so.
Yeah, in the beginning though, not at the end though. You already know that I voted. Okay, first of all, you already know that I saved you.
You fucking did.
And I voted. Look where it got me, to the Final Four. So
That's
what? Like, I'm not gonna like deny what I did and what I didn't do. So
And we've talked,
how-
I've mentioned this several times.
that's how I went. That's how I went through it.
Appearing to not have a strategy is a strategy. Michael's at 10.
Come on, Michael, come on, let's go.
Mason is incorrect. This is for the win.
Come on, Michael, you got it. Go, come on, go.
Let's talk contender challenges.
Season 1 would have been fun with contender
I,
challenges. Can you imagine the competition like
Oh,
putting me
yeah.
and Vinny and Sean in a contender? Would have been
I
like freaking
can't
battle
imagine.
royale going on.
I enjoyed the third one, being a participant in that
Being
You
the
won
winner.
for me.
I don't
Oh.
know.
You
Being
won
the
for me.
winner,
yes,
Thank
yes,
you. Thank you
yes.
for saying.
I liked every single challenge, obviously, but I liked that it challenged us physically. I liked
Yeah,
so
that's
the
why I
first
said you
challenge,
should keep
even
it,
though the
because
first challenge took us almost an hour, like
Yeah.
I love that because that's showing your true like inner competitor, like
Yeah.
how far are you willing to go to like.
And Angel hit on that.
Yeah.
Following the challenge, you said it showed who was here for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Coming to give 100%.
And it played on everyone's different strengths, right? And like
Yeah.
one thing I really loved about this show is that it wasn't just a model competition. Like it was a test of your mental endurance, your modeling skills, and your effort in general to be a champion. So.
Yep.
Now let's talk about the advantages, the twists that we brought back from season 1, and then a couple of the new ones. So we hit on legacy advantage. I guess you never know. Maybe that's coming back for season 3, season 4. We'll see.
Crazy show.
With the little asterisk saying, "Don't pull an Anthony."
Yeah.
Use the damn
We
thing.
need to make sure we already talked about out of the show is you
Yes.
have to use it. We
Yes.
talked about it.
Oh yeah.
So with all the twists and turns, you did one on the two of us.
I got your
yes.
back.
You did.
Expect unexpected.
You did.
Riley's revenge.
Oh.
Okay. This
Loved it.
was something long in the works.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Damn, what's up?
Darius, what the hell? We are throwing a twist in the show and we're calling it Riley's Revenge. Meaning, because you were also the first one knocked out, I'm gonna throw you a bone. Also, after the third is knocked out, you will be re-entered into the game.
Yo, this show, when I tell you I'm open-minded, like, I don't know what the fuck to expect next. Like, goddamn, like.
Did Darius keep his mouth shut?
Yes.
And were you
Yes.
all completely shocked?
Yes.
Yes. He did not say a word.
Wait,
You didn't say a
I ain't
word.
tell her Jay, but I was like, I got something for y'all.
Did you? I was sitting down here like this. Like I was like this.
Yes.
Oh, we was in the pool. I'm like, this show is about to get good. I was trying to hold together,
I could not.
but
I guess just to put it simply, you were
Shocked.
shocked.
as fuck.
And then what I liked about you, Darius, was just like, even though you were voted off first, you took it so well, and just and that was something I was
You did.
admiring
It
about
was
it.
like that for me. I was like, I really wasn't here to win. I'm gonna be honest. I was really here just to be a part of this shit.
Yeah.
And like when I got voted off first, I was like, damn. But I was like, it's kind of dope. Like, and then I got thrown back on. I'm like, ooh, shit, it's kind of good. Like, so
And I think that it's so neat that, you know, you and Riley knew each other. I mean, that was so fun.
It was
that
perfect.
That when she pops up on the screen,
And
you know who she is.
She was probably more shocked than you because she didn't expect you to be the person.
Yeah.
She didn't know anybody on the cast. She was just kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, oh my god, I can't believe it's you. Like,
Yeah.
So it was just kind of a moment.
Yes.
It was
that
funny.
it's
It was
so fun for us.
Yes,
too.
so fun.
And you never know, maybe Riley has more revenge to come.
Yeah.
Now to be Darius.
Riley, come back.
I would not be surprised.
Okay, so let's go into the first challenge, the Champ Recreations. Anne-Marie, Angel, challenge win. Great start.
Yes, sister.
How did it feel, Anne-Marie, to win that first challenge?
Honestly, I didn't expect it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I really did not expect to win that challenge at all. When it came down to like our final 2 photos, I was like, oh, Angel got it. Like, there's no way. And then like when you said that it was both of us, I was like, wow. Like, I didn't expect I expected to get eliminated like first round because I have no model experience. So I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna like make it.
You were concerned about the modeling.
Yeah,
challenges,
exactly.
yeah.
I was. But when you announced that we both won, I was like, okay. I think that put a different mind perspective in me. And I was like, okay, I could do this. Like, I could actually make it to the end if I just put my mind to it. So.
Yeah.
So I think, Angel, with you, it's kind of complete contrast here. With you have the modeling experience, or at least you know, some experience.
Yeah.
I would say you have quite a bit of experience
Yes.
compared to the others. Talk about, I guess, your perspective being the model of the group and going into a modeling challenge.
Yeah, you know, I went into it, even with my past experience, I was nervous because that type of shoot is still out of my comfort zone, and your reference photo was amazing. So I was worried about just my personal performance with getting that type of shot. I will say though, coming in with that background and with that experience, I was concerned, and then rightfully so, that it would paint a target on my back. So it's kind of like I went into the challenge wanting to do my best, but then I was like, oh shit, should I do my best? Like, should I throw this away? You know what I mean? Because I was like, how is this gonna like play out for me in the long run? But at the end of the day, I was like, well, that wouldn't be being true to myself.
Absolutely.
So I should just come in here and do my best as I normally would, and if that wins me the challenge, it wins me the challenge. But I will say, I do think it should have been a 3-way win with Roger, because that photo was so sexy, girl.
Thank you, girl.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
So sexy.
Literally.
It's steamy and hot.
Really? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris and I have made
An executive decision.
For the first time in Champ Series history, we are giving Roger an honorary challenge win for her. So in Champ history, it goes down as a triple win.
Yes.
All the girls!
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's so amazing.
As it really should be.
It should be.
Yes.
It should be.
Yes.
Danny, so going into the first knockout vote, you had a lot of emotion and a lot of worry going into that first vote.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh my god. I'm going. I mean, I
knew it from the get-go. And I don't know like where it happened. I literally woke up this morning and there was just a completely different vibe from pretty much the entire house. And I was told by somebody that the word was that it was gonna be me. And I don't know, I just it's just really hard. Like I'm just so grateful to be here, and I can't say what I really want to say because I'm gonna look like a fucking asshole.
So I want to just let you go on that.
Yeah, I was a mess. It was so funny because I think one of the biggest things is I just didn't want to be the first eliminated, and I was gonna doubt myself, and I need to have higher goals than that. But it was, and I touch on this now, and I think it was great gameplay, and I was kind of saying this earlier, but I think it shaped a lot of the beginning of the game, which shaped the rest of it. But, and I've said this before, but I think Anthony, like, there was one moment you came to me and you were like, hey, like, and I admired the gameplay, yes. But I think you were like, hey, Darius and Roger, you were like, you got up and I saw him point to you and they were like, that he needs to go. And that literally, like, I was like, oh my God. So then at that point, my strategy coming into this game was, I'm a big fan of reality TV as well, and it's like lay low in those first couple like votes, like kind of don't be one of the like loudest people. And I was like, oh shit, okay, I have a game now. And so at that point, obviously I felt like, okay, well that's 2 votes, and Michael was very close with Roger and Darius as well, so I was like, okay, that's 3. And then when he tried as hard as he did in the contender challenge, I was like, oh my God, like literally, because I felt like he was so safe. And I was like, literally, they're trying to get me out. Like, they don't want me to win this. And so I was like, oh my God, like this is it. And so at that point, that's where I had to like try and pull on the people that I felt like I had the closest connections with at that point. And I had to start gaming very, very quickly. And I feel like it was a lot harder than I wanted to initially.
Let me ask you this: what's confirmed that conversation with Anthony about Roger and Darius? Was that Anthony? Do you recall the same thing happening?
What I told him was I said from the reactions of everybody after the challenge, I told him that I felt like he would have been picked to go from, and also some of his reaction that he said. Because remember you mentioned in one of the testimonials that you thought Michael was being weird for a little bit
at the beginning, yeah.
And that's what we fed off each other on that. And I was like, okay, shit, yeah, they might be trying to go after you. And we discussed after the contender challenge, he was like...
But did you see them point to Danny like you told Danny? Did you see Roger and Darius do that, yes or no?
Yeah, I told him that I was like...
I didn't point. We also had a conversation when I took him aside and I told him, I was like, I didn't say shit, and if I do say shit, I'll say it to your face because I'm that type of bitch. And we made up, there's a whole season, go back to whatever episode that was, because I'm a real ass bitch. So I was like, whoever's lying, stop lying on me. You know, that's when I got irritated with you, because I heard it came from you, and I was like, oh, okay, Anthony, all right.
Do you want to know what happened? Do you want to know what happened when anyone got voted off or whatever? They took it personal. So I don't know what that phrase was, but we all took it personal once it happened. So, but I think going into it, I feel like going into it, we all had a genuine connection. So we were like,
yes,
don't take it personal.
Yeah.
But when it came down to getting voted off, or when it came down to, I might be like getting voted off, we took it personal. I feel like anyone, and I feel like anyone would take it personal no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a human reaction.
Yeah,
like,
it's not taking it personal.
I mean, like, yeah, like, people might have not taken it personal, but at the same time, in the back of your head, like, you're gonna be like, damn, like, why? Like, there's always gonna be that why aspect, I feel like. Like, why? What did I do to have them vote me off? You know what I'm saying? Or what did I do to have them even in my, like, have them, like, even think about voting me off? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everyone always had that why aspect.
Tapping into the emotions those first couple days, and we had the moment at the morning table is what I'm calling it now.
The morning table.
When Anne-Marie opens up about her connection to Mason.
You really, really, really inspired me, like, from the first time that I ever followed you. So I definitely wanted to tell you that eventually. But yeah, when you walked in, it like, obviously, as you could tell, my fucking jaw dropped. I know, like, you know, we have like our different, you know, paths, but just as a, like in the LGBT, you know, Q community, you made me realize that, like, you know, it doesn't matter what the fuck anybody else thinks. It's like what you think and what you believe in and how you want to pursue like your dreams and what you want to do. Because I was like, I never in a million years thought like I would honestly meet you like face to face, and you literally inspired me like a lot. So
End on a hug right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
I really do appreciate you.
And I love you both. Yes.
My question to you is the timing.
Why at that
Why you decided to do it
Yeah.
at whatever point it was later.
In all honesty, I feel like when we were all at that table, it was kind of, and like no one was talking, so I was like, this is my moment. Like I felt like that was it. Like we weren't really talking about anything specific, so I was like, you know what? Like since we're here right now, like we're all together, and we already had like deep conversations like by the pool and the hot tub, and I didn't like put like my moment out there with him, but I think the main reason was because he didn't say anything about himself first. Like I feel like he needed to tell his story before I told my story of why why I had that reaction with him. I wasn't just gonna go out and be like, oh, like he helped me come out or whatever, because he didn't tell his story first. So once he like put that out there and he told like everybody like his story, then I felt like, okay, like now it's my time to be like, the reaction that I had was because of this, and this. Because he already told, basically, not went into detail, but he already told like people like his side of the story. And then I was like, all right, well now I could express why I had the holy shit reaction. Like, well, I don't even think we had a conversation until maybe like 2 or 3 days even into it. Yeah, it was.
No one said anything.
No one said anything to us. I think.
No one asked.
I think you.
So it was kind of like the elephant in the room.
Yeah, I think Angel asked me that night before we went to bed, like, how do you know? Like, do you guys know each other? Blah blah blah. And then that's when I like expressed how I knew him. But I specifically told you, I said, don't say anything until he wants to express his like emotion towards like him and everything. So I was like, don't say anything until he talks about it, and that's exactly what she did. Yeah.
I think this is the only time that I really wanted to say something.
Yeah.
This entire process, but to her point and what she's saying by, I don't want you to say anything until he says something. And Angel, thank you. I didn't know that she had that conversation.
Yeah,
because I think respecting that.
Yeah,
just because
it's a respect aspect.
When it comes to this one subject of what she's saying, don't tell his side of the story. Don't go tell people that he's trans until he's ready to tell people that he's trans.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And just very quickly, just as the only trans person sitting here, having allies in the sense of everyone in this room who love me and accept me for me, but also something very, very minuscule, but also very life-saving in the same aspect of not outing someone of any capacity, no matter how they identify, when it's just, you just don't know how the people are going to react that you're talking to about that, and it can put my life in danger. And I realize that I put my life out there on social media, so I already do that to myself, but it's moments like that, if more people did that, and more people had that kind of mindset of like, you know, I just want you to know him for him, and not be like, oh yeah, that's Mason, my trans friend, because you would be surprised at how long that's been my identifier since I have allowed that to be my identifier. So thank you for respecting that, and thank you for
Of course, I wasn't gonna come up and be like,
don't think that.
oh yeah, I know him. Like, and even if I said I know him from social media, they're gonna be like, oh, why?
Yeah, why?
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't even come up to him and tell him like, hey, I know you, like, why?
I think I assumed maybe there was a behind the scenes conversation.
Nothing.
And I didn't know that was actually the first time it came to light.
Yeah, no, I wanted Mason to express it like himself, and then I felt like when he did tell like everybody, or when he did like talk about his story, then once we sat down at that table, I was like, this is my like trans, because think I talked about it with you two. I
We
was like,
talked.
I want to tell him why I reacted the way I
Yes.
did, and I
We
want
had
to.
that talk upstairs.
Yeah, we had that, all of us.
And then you walked
three
by, it was
girls.
really funny, and she like fangirled. Like,
Yeah.
we were standing upstairs, and like you walked in the house, she was like, I know him, and he's like my biggest inspiration.
Yeah,
And I
I
talked
really
to him.
did, but
She's like,
I
I'm nervous, I don't know how to approach him. And you walk in, she's like, and I'm like, Mason? She was like, Mason.
I love
I was like, I can't wait for this moment. Like, I was so excited the entire time.
I just wanted, like, I respect, like, back home, I have, you know, I have trans friends, and I never, like, I would never do that. Like, I'm like, if you want to tell your story, you tell your story, but that is my friend. Like, this is who he is, this is him.
Yeah.
Like, if he wants to tell if he wants to tell you, like, whatever, then that's on him, but that's why I said, like, I would rather him, you know, tell it, or
Thank
whatever.
you for expanding
So, yeah.
on from every
But-
perspective
Yes.
there, because
That's what it was.
it was news to me that was like the first conversation with you two.
Yeah.
Nothing.
At the
Wow.
table,
Yeah.
that's when I told him, and,
And-
that's
why I ended up bawling.
That's-
Well, that sounds, yeah, all the emotion.
Yeah, there was a lot of
was-
emotion that day.
Yes.
There was a lot of emotion, but yeah, no, I'm not, no, that's not who I am. Just like I expect with me, like, obviously, like, you know, I'm part of the LGBTQ community too, but I wouldn't want one of my friends coming up to me and being like, hey, that's Anne-Marie, my lesbian friend. Like, no, like, be like, hi, that's Anne-Marie, my friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same aspect, you know what I'm saying?
You are the challenge winner. A notch above everybody, star quality at its best. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, if you were to ask me how it feels to be a bad bitch, I would tell you that it feels like amazing. That's it.
Angel, right off the bat, wins first challenge, second challenge. Does that instantly paint a target on Angel's back at that
Sure.
point? Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where nobody directly ever told me that was the case was, except for Darius. You and I were growing pretty close, and you kind of forewarned me. I don't think anybody ever talked to you, but you were just kind of like, hey, like, I would just kind of be aware that might paint a target on your back. And I was thinking to myself, I was just like, damn, is that true? Like, is that right? I don't know. And I just kind of like I didn't really try to figure that out. I was just kind of like, well, as long as I play genuine and play myself, and, you know, I think I'm locked in with the people I'm locked in with, then I think that's the best that I
And that's a
can
good point, is that you did have that first 4 alliance there, and it's so early in the competition. We're on challenge 2.
Danny and I had a lot of conversations where we reaffirmed that we were going to have each other's back. So I thought I was locked in with him. It was really just Anthony out of that initial 4 that I thought, oh, we really haven't checked in with each other. So, and then there's a scene where you see, I'm like, hey, I'm just checking in with you again, just reaffirming. This is where I think it's going based off of my most recent conversation with Danny, where I thought maybe like Michael wasn't in favor of things. So I was just kind of updating Anthony on that. How are you feeling?
Slightly nervous. I'll just be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure. Well, where all these little alliances that are popping up all of a sudden are coming from and what's going on. Having trouble trusting, like even Danny now.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes you think that? I think Danny's solid.
These one-on-one combos that he's having are just like, you know, I don't know what he's saying. What is he really saying? What is he really saying to Mason? You know what he's saying to you. I know what
I know,
he's
but I'm
saying.
telling you, he's like confided in me
Okay.
about how he feels about everybody.
Okay.
And I can tell you, please do not repeat this.
No, I
This
swear.
is between
I won't.
us. But I can tell you that tonight, he's gonna go.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even said that to my face today, but based on our conversation last night, he's going to go. He's still sticking with us until we have to make those hard decisions. He's still tied into that.
Okay.
Anne-Marie, I don't even have to have a conversation with her. I just know she's tied in. So I just wanted to sync up with you because, again, I know you and Michael's connection, especially after last night, I was part of that conversation. It was very genuine, and that's outside of the game.
Yeah.
That's real life.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I was kind of saying.
And if that changes your mind, that's okay. But I wanted to check in just so I'm not blindsided because I'm not going to vote for you. I'm going to.
So I want to talk about that and the moment the alliance kind of breaks in that regard. Anthony, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so from what I remember, before all that, there was a lot of like talking going on, like all over the place. And we had come to the conclusion that you obviously were the threat. And we were discussing if we wanted to make it to the finals, you'd have to get voted out. And it was literally like kind of a discussion that we got to start playing the game. And unfortunately, it kind of you got.
Yeah, but when you have an alliance, you're supposed to stick with that alliance.
Yeah, but it's also a game.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But talk to them then. Tell them, hey, I know we're an alliance, but
it's over now.
It's over now. You know?
It's also a game, yeah.
I think I hear you for sure. But I don't want something I keep hearing are these themes of it's a game and don't take it personal. Let's not use these as umbrella blanket statements to excuse any accountability. But for you, Anthony, what I will say is that conversation, now that watching it back, I got to see that conversation happened, and then you and I had our private conversation. I'm just curious, were you really, in our conversation, you told me you weren't sure about Danny, and I stupidly was like, Danny's solid, like what? No.
Well, I was actually at that point.
So were you really concerned about Danny because
yeah.
you knew he was really not having my back, so you were kind of like foreshadowing?
Yeah, I was, if you actually like, the way, and it was weird when I rewatched all that, I was like, because I didn't remember the conversation that well until I rewatched it. And I was like, yeah, I was beating around the bush hardcore in that fucking thing, because I didn't know what to fucking say, I didn't know what to fucking do. And I was just like, rewatching it, I was like, oh damn, I look like I'm just leaning back in the chair, not wanting to even be in the room and talk. And I was like, man, if only I could just like a part of me wanted to tell you, but then I obviously chose not to. And just, I was actually worried about Danny for real, because I was like, there's so much conversations going on right now. I was just like, fuck,
Yeah.
So I obviously picked him over you.
Yeah. Because you guys had that previous conversation. Yeah.
Danny.
Whew.
He's like, shit.
That's bad at all.
The thought cloud in your head was about to explode.
I think so much. Initially, yes. And Angel, I should have grabbed you. The 24 to like 36 hours before that vote, there was so much conversation going on. And I even think in the episode, there was something like, you're like, I feel like there's not a lot of talking. I was like, oh yeah, there's so much talking going on. And yes, so the day before when I had the conversation where I pulled the 4 people and I went and had a single conversation with each of the people afterwards because I needed to explain myself, I had told Michael in that conversation that I would never vote for him. And in that vote, it was either, looking back on it, it probably was either going to go him or you. And the day before again, and I think like, not accountability, but like it is game. And obviously went along, I had my vote, I'm a man. Anthony, I think, was it was Anthony, Michael, Mason, and I. And I think that in that first conversation, that night that was on camera, and then the next day, it was in the afternoon, we were upstairs in a room, and it was 4 of us. And at that point, like, that's when it happened. And it was like...
That was not on camera, too.
Yeah, that was
There was a lot of conversation off camera.
And at that point, it was like, okay. And yeah, like, of course, I should have maybe spoken up, and and not to be a coward, I don't think that is, because I needed to protect myself, but I was like, my hands are tied. Like, I can't sit here and be like, no. Like, I mean, I could have, but like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna do this, like, because these are the numbers. And I felt like my hands were tied. And I admire and respect you so much. And I look up to you. And I think my one piece of it, like, that I wish is at that day, you and Darius, I know we're hanging out a ton. And there was several times where I wanted to talk to you. And yeah, I should have ballsed up and been like, hey, Angel, I need to talk to you. Like, can I grab you and hold on a minute? But it was just never that moment. And then I saw you and Anthony had that conversation right before the vote. And I was like, oh my God, like she's talking to Anthony. And at that point I was like, fuck, like what if, just the what ifs.
Yeah, let me help you on this. So a lot of what was going on was speculation. Like we saw on the show, there was speculation that you two might have formed an alliance.
False.
I know, but there was
genuine.
We knew it was genuine, but we didn't know.
Because she even voted for. I even voted for.
Let me say something. But help him out. You guys understand? We had a conversation off camera. This is a game, no matter what you say. In real life, I would never let anything bad happen to you. I would get your back. I'd beat a motherfucker's ass for you in a heartbeat. But in a TV show and a game, he was worried about going home. I was worried about going home. There was speculation there was an alliance forming between you two. And we were worried. And Michael and Mason, and I did pick Danny over you. And I'll say on camera, I'm sorry. But in real life, it wouldn't happen. In a show, yes. He was worried. He was stressed beyond belief. And I did pick him over you, trying to help my smaller alliance that formed in with these two. And Mason, of course, was the one that did not want fucking anything to do with it at all.
Well, to be honest with you, my whole outlook on everything had nothing to do with like so much of like whose connections weren't genuine. I just knew that you guys had connections.
Yeah.
I knew that they were genuine. So when it came to making the decision for that last moment, it was, well, if this person is out, then there's a good chance that they're gonna do that they're gonna cover this person.
Yeah.
But if this person's out, then they're gonna cover that person. Yeah. And all of those, this person's gonna cover this person. All of those people were the 4 people that were in the house to begin with.
Yeah.
So.
And I want to make clear that I hear you guys and I understand where you're coming from, but I just want to also make clear, for one, there was speculation in that conversation between you 3 that I had Darius good and we wanted to go to Siesta. I don't even think we knew about Siesta Key. I don't know, but Darius, you already know that was genuine between us.
Yeah.
But I just have to say, like, Anthony, you're someone who, coming from season 1 and then going through season 2, I kind of like, you've always like owned who you are. Like, except for that one tiny conversation we had where I thought we were aligned, you pretty much, I don't really feel like there was much manipulation. I feel like you just kind of like are who you are and you own that, and I respect the hell out of that for you. But with Danny, I think the reason, or I know the reason that I had such an issue with you about it is because there was manipulation on your part, and you played on our friendship, which was genuine outside of it being a game, to help you win the game. And I think watching everything back and knowing the conversations that really happened between you and me on and off camera, that just kind of was like a character show for me, because even in that night after everything happened, I was like, Anthony told me this, that was such a lie, and you just went along with it and let everybody blame Anthony. But really, after watching everything back, you were the one kind of pulling puppet strings throughout the whole season, and then not being like that to people's faces.
Yes,
so
I did, but not in that aspect.
That's a big thing.
When it was just come back, I literally pulled for you, and I think till that day. And literally after the vote, the very first thing in the theater room after the vote, I stayed and it was you and I in there, and I told you straight up that I voted for you.
Yeah, we had
that conversation. Yes, I do think that I don't know, like the puppeteer, but yes, I do think that I did do a lot of that in the game.
Yes.
If there's one thing I've taken away from this experience, it's to never give up.
Through belief in yourself, you will find you can go places you've never imagined. Going forward with my life, I won't be scared to take risks just because they might make me feel uncomfortable.
You deserve to shine, you deserve for your voice to be heard, and you are valid just the way you are.
I am Mason, and here I am.
I think so many of the challenges, like there's so many different aspects and like moving parts. It was a blast to be able to do it, and I think it's funny because I think watching back on that last episode, even within the past couple of weeks, like it's something that I know I'll return to time and time again in the future, and I think it's nice to. Obviously, I mean, so many things I did, I will, but it's nice to have that memento, and I think to put your stamp on what this experience was. And obviously, I don't think any of us could do it justice for what it actually was, but it was nice to, I feel like, try and.
Did it feel therapeutic in a way, kind of, because you're reflecting on the experience?
And I think if anything, if I was to mold this whole entire experience into a ball, that challenge would be, for me, the platform I think I needed. And Angel said this so often throughout the season, but just really coming here for her and like showing her what she can do. And that is my biggest downfall. It's my biggest weight on my shoulders. So to be handed a challenge and being like, okay, here you go. What do you want the world to know about you? That's huge for me. That personally is my biggest problem. It's like, what do I want the world to know? Why is what I have to say even worth the world knowing? So when you have 30 seconds to just be able to do what you want to do is, I think, very therapeutic in a way. And I didn't realize that until after it was over.
Yeah.
Where's the remote? Somebody has the remote.
I do.
I need to take a sip of my drink.
Be careful with your.
I need another drink.
Alright,
I got this
Are we
drink
ready?
in my cup. No, fuck I don't.
We're rolling.
Come on, we're rolling. Come on.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not ready. Oh, besties, I'm not ready. Oh, besties. Oh, besties.
We're very happy with that decision.
Oh no, I'm not. I can't look.
The music. God damn it. Are you gonna do the little things again? There's so much anxiety. They're not done. Oh my god. We gotta come back again. Shut up. Everybody take a deep breath.
Deep breaths.
No, I don't like this.
I don't either. I think it's gonna be like
No. No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
This says we're not gonna tell you.
I can't do it. I can't.
Another good shot?
No. I need a tequila and
I don't even know.
I need a tequila and a
He's talking.
Wait, he's talking.
The fact that I wish I could just push the rewind button and do this all over again, because it was the greatest experience, truly, of my entire life. And I'm speechless, honestly. I never expected to be in a position like this. I never expected to get this far.
but I think I did everything for my confidence and self-love to finally realize that I can do it. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy.
You deserve it. You deserve it. Congratulations.
Hey, Mason, what are you?
It wasn't me, but it was Mason.
Why am I crying?
Because you're probably talking about Ashley.
I didn't think it was possible for someone to love me the way that you do.
Can we rewind it?
Okay. Myself and see myself through your eyes and to love the way that you do and to accept me the way that you have and to cheer me on even though you're sitting at home right now with 6 animals, one of them dying, and doing it all by yourself while I'm here doing something I've never done and putting myself out there. You've been my motivation from the beginning. You're why I'm here. Winning this for me is obviously so ridiculously important, but winning this for you is everything. And I hope when you watch this, by the time you see this, you will be able to look down at your hand and see a ring on your finger and know that.
And we're married now. Well, not we are.
Be better. Because go on. And if I didn't have that, I don't know if I'd be sitting here right now. So your love has given me a chance, a second chance to love myself.
Go, Ashley.
Hey.
And I love you. Final thoughts. I'm
Ashley, if you're watching
so glad this is the last time I'll be crying on camera. This has been, I've said it more times than I think I can count, but this has been an experience I will truly never forget. I will take it to my grave, and it'll change me every day. And
cheeks are shaking so bad.
So incredible, like vibrating in this moment right now. It's my last day here, and I can go out a happy one. So. My name is Mason Fitzpatrick. I'm 31 years old.
I am Mason, and here I am.
Final thoughts. I'm so glad that this is the last time I'll be crying on camera. This has been, I've said it more times than I think I can count, but this has been an experience I will truly never forget. I will take it to my grave, and it'll change me every day. And I couldn't be more grateful. I'm so incredibly thankful to be sitting in this moment right now. If it's my last day here, then I can go out a happy one. So. Hey, I hope this is all right. My name is Mason Fitzpatrick. I'm 31 years old.
I am Mason, and here I am.
Let's give it up for Mason, baby! Let's give it up for Mason! Here's Mason!
didn't have our phone, so I wasn't reading my messages.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I love you. Thank you.
I love you too. I can't wait to watch.
I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy.
I'm sure I will.